Okay, hello and welcome to the TFGO Early Midseason podcast. Uh, with me is the commissioner of this league, who's actually not hosting this thing, Marcus, otherwise known as the Packers.
That's right. How's it going, everybody?
And we have Justin Case, otherwise known as the Raiders, the guy who got destroyed at the Super Bowl. Nah, just kidding.
What's good, man? What's going on?
So this is going to be a little bit short. Short and sweet, 30 minutes is not exactly the midway point of the season, but we're getting close to there. And in case if you guys are wondering, Hawking was supposed to be here, but he had something come up. So, anyway, week 6 is almost done. So why don't we start talk about anything any of us want to bring up before we start looking at the divisional standings?
Uh, Personally, I think that this offseason there were a lot of trades being made, more, I guess, more than normal, and kind of changed because during the season there hasn't been really that many trades at all.
Yeah, the off season's definitely when people are looking to address their rosters, and then the season started and everyone calmed down, which is kind of the way it should be, honestly. So that's cool. I'm just interested to see what moves have worked out and what haven't. The Eagles went and got Antonio Brown, and looks like he's turned that around a little bit, but off to a slow start there in Philadelphia. On my end, the Jordan Reed trade paying dividends. He is second on my team in receiving yards, and I don't know how Le'Veon Bell is doing for you over there in Las Vegas, but
Yeah, Bell's
yeah, it's
doing
been
pretty good for
interesting to
me.
see some superstars changing teams here.
Yeah, and over on my side, Ecreminius St. Brown has been doing alright, not anything special. 2 games in a row where he's been held in check with no catches, but right now,
Mm-hmm.
Jared Pinkney, Jordan Reed's replacement, has 32 receptions. 6 of them were touchdowns.
All right,
So
I like it.
he's been good at the red zone, but uh, Justin, how did you beat Hawking?
Um, Try to limit turnovers. I think that was the big thing. I mean, it's the main thing that I noticed that if I have less turnovers in any game, I can basically control the game with my defense. And so that's basically what I was able to do. And then second half, I switched up my defense a lot, which I normally don't. I normally just play my base style defense. But with him, I switched everything up, a lot of things up in the second half, gave him different looks. And I think that ultimately caused him to have some problems.
That's
Well,
definitely something I've found when I play Hawking too. Is you just can't make mistakes. Same thing goes with Nick. I just played Nick this week and too many mistakes. Just one missed field goal was the difference in that game, but some blown coverages and bye bye.
so I guess we should talk about the other upset that happened this week. I don't want to though, because then I'd be cocky about it, and I don't want to be. So, Justin, you want to talk about it since I don't think Marcus is watching the game.
Well, obviously the Redskins knocked off the undefeated Cowboys 38 to 31. And this game was
Ooh,
fought all the way down to the wire with the Cowboys having the ball at the 20-yard line with 15 seconds left, first down and 10, and were not able to move down the field. Plus, they had zero timeouts, so they really couldn't take shots in the middle. They were trying to take end zone shots at that point. I don't know. I thought it was a really good game. I thought that your running game kind of once you had that long run early in the game, it basically kind of made him say, okay, what can I do? What do I have to give up? And plus, Trevor Lawrence had a really good game, probably his best game of the season. And even though Dak Prescott had a good game, for the most part, he wasn't able to capitalize in the red zone when in the fourth quarter, and that kind of was the turning point of the game.
I went the entire game without sacking Dak Prescott, so he had 481 yards. I'm amazed that I still won, but anyway, let's get into division standings, why don't we? Starting with the AFC East? Sure. Who wants to talk about the AFC East? Because I don't.
I can talk about. Well, do you play the AFC East this year, Justin?
Yeah, I played it. No. I just played.
Just played Hawking.
Yeah, this was where Hawking was going to talk about his division, but I guess Marcus, you can.
I think this division is interesting.
The story this year is that Hawking hasn't been as dominant as in years past. He's currently 4-2. You know, he's lost now to Justin, and can't remember who else knocked him off this year. Let's see.
I think it was the Browns.
1 second. Was it the Browns? Colts.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then a close one against the Jags last week. So just not the same dominance that we've seen over the years. So opening things up a little bit after the first year that he didn't win the Super Bowl. But the rest of the division is still pretty damn good. We've got Louis with the Patriots is kind of doing the same thing he did with the Detroit team in our last rebuild, where he has a couple bad years to start, but then kind of built the team he wanted it, had his vision for it, and then fits his play style a little better. So now he's 3-2, and then the Dolphins are 5-1. They're very good. I think they were in the AFC Championship. Is that right? They're who beat Hawking last year, correct?
Yeah.
In the playoffs. Yeah. So it's a good division. Probably the best division in the league, I would say. I can't think of anyone that would be.
Yeah, they're
just scrolling through. Maybe the NFC West or the NFC South would be up there, but definitely up there.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the AFC North real quick here. The Browns kind of came out of nowhere last season, and now he's 5-0, and he's just he's good. You know, it's obvious to tell who the good users in this league are, and obviously he's one of those people. And I think it's pretty clear that he owns the AFC North. Steelers are way better than he has been recently, so he could possibly catch up, but I don't think so. And then the other two just, I don't know. For the Bengals, Haskins being hurt for 7 weeks isn't going to help him either, so that division is going to be top-heavy this year.
Yep. The Bengals are a little surprising to me. I thought they would be a little better, but they're struggling. Probably not much to say.
Surprisingly, they're struggling with their defense because, I mean, he's talked about how he wanted to build his defense and switching to the scheme that he switched to this year. He said that this is the scheme that he's more familiar with anyway and was waiting to be able to get into a 3-4. And I expected a lot more out of his defense this season. Basically his defense has caused him a lot of problems. Offense has been a lot better as Haskins has improved, but now Haskins is hurt and the defense isn't good, so that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So who wants to talk about the AFC South? Actually, Justin, why don't you talk about the South?
The South is very interesting. We'll start at the bottom with the Jaguars, who are 0-5, who found their way in the AFC Championship game just the year prior. Not last season, but the season before that. And now they're starting off 0-5. Very interesting because they could have beaten the Bills. They were winning that game, lost at the very end of that game. So it's really interesting to see what you're going to get out the Jaguars because they're not down and out quite yet. Go to the Texans, they're 1-4. They got a brand new user. No one really knows what to expect out of the Texans. But really, the interesting conversation is between the Colts and the Titans. The Colts had a really good season last year, as we talked about earlier. They beat Hawking, and the Titans have basically been losing every game and found a way to win. 3 of them. They're 3-3 on the season, and it's very interesting to see if they can actually like put something together that's actually legit, or if they're just going to find themselves trying to dig out of every hole, and then at the end of the season not be able to dig out. So I think it'd be interesting when the Titans and Colts play to see how that works. I think the Titans had already beaten the Colts from one of those miraculous comebacks, so they will play again, and we'll see how that division tops off.
I'm just surprised that the Colts almost got kicked out of this league when it said he got a bunch of players suspended or whatever, and now he's actually doing a good job with his team. I don't know why. I should have saw it coming because he's a good user, but for some reason it took me back by surprise a little bit. But he did lose to the Titans this week, 26-34. So maybe he isn't going to win the division. Who knows?
I think this is about to get really interesting because Cole, the user for the Titans, was extremely busy during the regular season for the NFL, but a little more free time now, a little more invested in the league. He's a good Madden player. He just hadn't really had a ton of time to, play a lot of this game. So I think now that, he's got a little more free time, we could see a resurgence there in Tennessee. So that'll definitely be interesting to keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on week 8 when Hawking the Titans face off. That should be a very interesting game.
Yeah. Hawking will probably just whoop Cole's ass by like 30.
Oh, well then.
Bulletin board material right there.
So, you want to talk about your own division, Justin? Sorry.
Sure, I'll talk about my division. AFC West, it's a little different than it has been in the past due to the fact that we got a new Chargers user. Then we lost Tomac, who started the season off not very good anyway. Then we lost him, so we don't really know what we're getting out of this new Broncos user. However, he has played some close games since he's joined the league. The Chiefs are trying to figure themselves out, and I think they may be figuring some things out. They're winning some games that people don't expect them to win, and also losing some games that people probably would expect them to win. So I think that they're starting to figure themselves out. They're 3-3 at the moment, and really pushing for a possibility of winning the division if something happens, or more likely trying to get into that wild card spot, that second wild card spot. Of course, the Raiders. We went to the Super Bowl last year. We started the season 5-1. We only lost this season to the Browns. But our schedule is going to be tough. We got the Cowboys next week, and then the Giants and Broncos following that. And I went through the gauntlet. I already played the Steelers. I already played the Eagles. I played a lot of tough teams early, so I think that once we get through this first 9 weeks and get through the bye week, things should kind of level off for us a little bit.
Yeah, definitely interesting division. I always think the Chiefs are going to be better than they are. I feel like that team has so much potential, they just can never get it going, I guess, but I'm not one to talk, though. I'm just saying this from an outsider's perspective.
Hey, big things are happening in Washington land.
Yeah, watch out now. Dan Snyder might have figured it out.
Let's not credit him. It's all Goose, not Dan Schneider.
So, Marcus, you want to talk about your own division? Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, it's kind of same old here. Let me scroll over here. Sorry, I've been slacking on providing the infographics here. Yeah, so 5-1, Green Bay. We just picked up our first loss by 1 point. Actually, felt I totally blew that game. Missed field goal basically cost me the game.
Jordan Reed cost you the game.
Yeah, Jordan Reed cost me 40 seconds of critical game time for him to go and make a key drive as he can't get off the field with a bruised sternum. I tell you what, I've had a bruised sternum before, and if you can't run off the field with a bruised sternum, then what the hell is wrong with you? Just trading for straight wussies from Washington, I guess. But so we pick up the loss. That one was on me. Shouldn't have missed the field goal. It was like a 14-yard field goal that we shanked. Really bad.
Wow.
And so we end up losing by 1 point. We also could have gotten a 2-point conversion to at least make it so he would have tied it to send it into overtime, but we were up 5 and he led a game-winning drive. So we lost to Nick, but Aaron Rodgers, maybe the story, at least in the NFC, Rodgers was supposed to miss 6 weeks, magically decides to come back after 2 for the biggest game of the year there against San Francisco and played lights out. So he's like a little hobbled. Rodgers. Yeah, he's a little hobbled. He's down to like 69 speed, but a lot better. He didn't lose any arm talent. He's still got all that, so a lot better than. And I did a good job keeping him upright as well. Didn't take a single sack against the Niners. Didn't take a single hit, actually, Rodgers. So NFC North is, I mean, Ty's playing a little better this year, but that's whatever. Mike is struggling this year. Just kind of the same old with the Bears there for Mike. I mean, points for 105, points against 119. He's always playing close games. He just can't close. And then Detroit, new user, Long Bob coming back in here. Probably going to be more of the same there. No offense, Long Bob. But, yeah, that's the NFC North.
Well, were you worried when the Bears
put up?
Were you worried when the Bears put up 58 points in the first game of the season or something ridiculous like that? Did that bring any thought?
Harsh. Anyway, I'm just going to talk about the NFC South here real quick, otherwise known as the most intriguing division out there, ignoring the Saints. It seems very interesting. Like, I don't know what's going on in Atlanta. I know he handed me a giant L last week, though. So I'll gladly hold that because he outplayed me clearly. But 2 years ago, Buccaneers went 0-16, and now he has the opportunity to do well this year, maybe second place in his division. That is surprising. But I think Atlanta has a lot of good weapons on offense, and I think that they're actually going to win the division, but I could be crazy. That's just my prediction. I think Buccaneers will finish third. The Panthers will come back, but you never know. Panthers is having a down year with Kyler Murray, who he was looking good. His stats were looking good, and then something happened. Hard to tell what's happening to Carolina.
Yeah, he can be inconsistent. I played him last year, and he actually played a really good game against me. He just needs to have a little more consistency. I was excited to see what Kyler Murray was going to offer for him, but not much apparently.
Yeah, same thing with me. He beat me 25-24 beginning early last season. Same situation. Yeah. He's so inconsistent, though.
Mm-hmm. So what do we have left? The East and the West?
Yeah, so Justin, you know anything about the NFC West?
I mean, I've kind of keep tabs on all the divisions. But Marcus, you can go.
All right, well, the NFC West is a total battle right now. We got, I'm trying to think off the top of my head because I entered practice mode here because I got bored. But
of course you did.
The
Cardinals.
Seahawks are in first, correct? Oh, that's right. The Cardinals are finally kind of having that breakout season.
I know.
He's a guy that I'm not going to call him cheesy because don't think that's a problem, but he does like his mobile quarterbacks. He's been around the TFG leagues going all the way back to before this league and to the original subscriber league. He definitely wants a more mobile quarterback. He could not wait for the chance to get rid of Josh Rosen, I think. So he gets, is it Love? Julian Love?
Yeah.
Julian Love,
Yeah.
There's somebody Love has
something Love
starred there
out
for
of,
some reason.
like Utah State or Nevada or something like that. Yeah, so he's killing it. Clone's really good at defense, and now that he potentially has more of an offensive threat, he is definitely someone I would keep an eye on to get into the mix for like the NFC Championship conversation with me and Nick. Maybe Eagles if you want to mention him, but I'm not really scared of Eagles. I always blow him out. Yeah, so the Cardinals are definitely interesting, leading the charge there. The Seahawks are having a good year. He's kind of just consistent all around, just really good defense. And then, I don't know if his offensive numbers have stepped up this year or not, but I play him in a few weeks, so excited for that. And then Nick is going to bounce back. He'll win 12, 13 games, I'm sure. That was a big win he picked up against me. And then you still got Grimy in there, who's had a surprising fall off, but we know he can play too. So, and he's getting Brandon Cooks off a suspension this week. So that NFC West might not be quite as like top heavy as the AFC East, like we were saying, but it is definitely the deepest division.
I mean,
TFGO.
The NFC
They're
West
really
is,
good.
It's like the first year in the NFC West when everybody had a winning record, and I think the worst team had like 9 wins. This year, everybody has a winning record right now at this point, and Grimey's 3-1, Seahawks 4-1, Cardinals 5-0. I mean, whoever's matched up with this division is going to have a tough time getting any wins, and I mean, it's quite possible that somebody can miss the playoffs and have 10 wins in this division, and the other 2 getting the wild card.
Totally.
Crazy division. Everybody is so good over there. I have no idea. It's like they're like, hey, let's get the 4 best users, put them all in the same division. Let's see what happens. It's like, well,
I mean, the Cardinals have only given up 34 points all season in 5 games, and that's just remarkable. You know their defense.
Yeah, his defense is nasty.
They've been getting a lot of sacks year in and year out and getting interceptions and deflections and all that stuff. But this year it's all like coming together.
Yep.
alright, so let's talk about the NFC East, because it's the last division, so we'll go over it real quick. So, Cowboys are no longer undefeated because I got lucky. Eagles, meanwhile, he started off 0-2, and now for some reason he has 4 wins in a row. Even though he should have lost to the Chargers, Manning kind of said, nah, and just decided to let them play again, and then Eagles was able to get his head out of his ass and actually win. Meanwhile, Giants, he's, well, cheesy? Maybe? Kind of.
I don't
He's
know,
probably
that's
our
what
biggest
everybody
cheese.
says, and I'm worried about it.
He's probably our biggest cheese user.
Lamar
Just
Jackson
make sure you
is
got that
annoying.
QB contain on every single play relentlessly.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Put your
He's like,
fastest
oh.
linebacker in a spy. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and then the factory of sadness over in Landover is, same old, same old. I can have good drafts, but I can never actually do anything with the players that I draft, so that's just, it seems like that
Yeah, but
happens every year.
you took out the best team in the division, so who knows?
I did, I know, just, it didn't, I don't know, it felt more like luck than anything else, but...
I love the confidence, Goose.
I can't muster up the confidence to actually say anything. It's like, hey, I can brag about it. I'm not going to, though. Meanwhile, Darius Geisdorf has had 200 yards against the Cowboys, but he is on the trade block. It's because he has a big contract that he wants, and DeAndre Swift is looking really good.
Yeah,
Do
I
I?
have Swift in my Dolphins rebuild. He's fun.
Yeah, so, uh, anything else you guys want to say before we sign off?
Do we want to do any award predictions?
Oh, we can if you have time, Marcus.
I got time.
Okay. So let's see, who is going to win best quarterback?
That's very
I'd say it's
interesting
probably a
question.
three-way conversation right now. You guys may agree or disagree. I was going to say Rodgers, Wentz, and Lamar Jackson, based on what I was looking at earlier. So Rodgers just missed 2 games, but he's still in the top 10 for passing yards, 8 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. I think has the highest quarterback rating in the league. Actually, Dwayne Haskins has that right now.
He's injured,
then
though, so
Rodgers.
that's not going to last.
Yeah.
Broken collarbone.
So yeah, Rodgers
Ugh.
up there, and then you got Lamar Jackson, but he does have 8 interceptions already. And then you have Josh Rosen actually got off to a really nice start. He's still playing well.
Yeah, that's my guy, Josh Rosen. I think Josh Rosen can do it.
Yeah, that would be really impressive. That's a guy that would get a really nice player review because of the, he's a guy that we know has the upside. It's a little different than like, say, who was the Saints guy, like Mackenzie Milton.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the arm talent, downfield accuracy to be legitimate, but we know Rosen has all the tools. So to see him put it together is cool.
Yeah,
and running back.
Tough. Running back. Let's see. Of course, it's Aaron Jones, probably.
Yeah, it's not even
Very
close right now.
effective running game. 8.2 yards per carry, 10 TDs. I mean, it's very effective and efficient when he runs. I've watched a couple of your games. When you run, it seems like you are running because you already know where the defense is going to be, and you're basically running to the open spot that you create as opposed to what the defense creates.
Yeah,
it's
pretty definitely looking for those mismatches. Not going to run into a 7-man front, So if they're going to load the box, we're going to spread them out. Use the deep ball ability of Rodgers. Mix everything up. Keep the defense off balance. That's what it's all about.
Aaron Jones is going to have superstar dev, probably after he wins best running back.
Yeah, or MVP. Wouldn't rule him out for MVP right now.
I mean,
why are all the best running backs in the NFC?
Because the AFC doesn't know how to run the ball. Clearly,
that's a good point. There's not a lot
Very interesting to notice that all the top running backs. Maybe the NFC is more of a running conference and the AFC is more of a passing conference. Something to look at.
So
and passing leaders that's pretty spread out.
Le'Veon Bell's kind of down far on this list. I was kind of expecting you to do more with him, Justin, but I guess Love is splitting carries with him.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell just gave me more versatility, gave me an opportunity to do a lot more, and also gave me the opportunity to stay healthy. I mean, my biggest thing was healthy. Bryce Love didn't finish the last 2 seasons. He hasn't finished the season. And then, mind you, last playoffs, I lost all 3 of my running backs on my depth chart going into the AFC Championship. So I was down to 2. I had 2 free agent guys taking over as the running back.
So best wide receiver, right? At 75 overall, leads the NFL in yards and receptions, and 6 touchdowns.
I think Odell Beckham's going to calm down.
Yeah. And then another surprise, Rashard Matthews in Tennessee. That could come down.
I forgot he's even in this league. That's it's Rashard Matthews. What does he do in the NFL? Nothing. But if TFGO, he's actually pretty decent. Only 1 touchdown though.
I get you don't want to toot your own horn, but Rondale Moore, the rookie, I mean, you can't leave him out. I mean, the guy is making plays on the outside, making plays through screens. Once the ball is in his hand, it's pretty electric. So, no, you don't want to toot your own
He's a
horn. But
monster.
Don't count him out. But I like
Yep.
Pooh Strickland because if I like Josh Rosen being the best quarterback, I like Pooh Strickland being the best receiver.
Yeah.
Yep. And then over to the defensive side. Let's see. Well, right now, Myles Garrett, 15 sacks already, so you got to think he'd be up there.
Probably suspended if he breaks the
Interceptions,
sack
Fred
record.
Warner. Fred Warner, Oren Burke's always in the conversation every year. That's pretty much all I'm seeing, those three.
I like Harold Landry from Titans. I remember playing against the Titans last year. And Landry's always been a guy that steps up for him in every situation.
12, leads the league in tackles for loss, 9 sacks, 39 tackles. Yeah, he's having a great year. And that's about it. Coach of the year?
Coach of the
John
year. Oh, what?
Could go with who's the Cardinals head coach in this?
That's a great question.
No idea.
Here, I can pull up the because I think he's replaced Steve Wilkes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cardinals head coach is Nick Sirianni.
That guy.
Him. Who was Nick Sirianni? I'm trying to remember.
Never heard of it.
Offensive coordinator.
Oh,
Currently. In real life.
well. Yeah, if the Cardinals keep producing the way they are, then they're probably going to have the best record in this league. So, more than likely. And that's about it. Unless if we want to talk about rookies. If anybody's standing out right now.
I think we talked about a couple rookies in the process of
Yeah.
talking about the other stuff.
I mean, yeah. Alright, that's going to be the end of this early mid-season TFGO podcast. Thank you for watching or listening. We will see you whenever I can get people scheduled again.
Thanks, Goose.
All right, man.
Host of the year, Headless Goose. All right. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for watching.